Everyone, it's Alexa Pano, five-time US Kids World Champion and now LPGA Tour player. I wanted to welcome y'all to Pinehurst this week and congratulate you on your spot in the field. It's such a big accomplishment to make it to Pinehurst, and I hope you have so much fun and play some great golf. I can't wait to follow along.
I think we definitely are. The weather's nice. We're in Pinehurst. You can't go wrong when you're in the cradle of American golf. So these kids have quite the treat on their hands. This is an incredible worldwide competition, and it's an event that we look forward to each and every year. But this year in particular, I think it's extra exciting for a lot of obvious reasons. You got the U.S. Open. We've got the Olympics going on all around the world, and then the world being represented in junior golf right here in Pinehurst Village tonight.
Look at the community as well. They're coming out to support it. It's going to be a great night of weather. We're just excited to see the kids. That's the showcase tonight. So looking forward to it.
When we talk about the World Championship, this is the 25th. Chris is vice president of our foundation and tournaments. Chris, how many World Championships is this for you?
This is 21 for me.
Oh, that's a big.
You've really seen it grow and change. I think we have a clip of that kind of encompasses what the World Championship is all about. If we could roll that, let's take a quick look and see what the World Championship is for the folks at home before we actually get to the parade.
You just finished playing in the world's largest continuous golf tournament. Just the fact that you were here means you are really the world's best. And congratulations to each of you.
Welcome to the U.S. Kids Golf World Championships. Truly the world's best players.
But I would say golf was the glue for our family, isn't it?
Oh, that's definitely sure how I started. And then we brought Willa into the game, and now my mom's starting back up again. And Dad's still trying to beat me, which is
never going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Please welcome to the team from Gurgaon, India.
I'd like to thank my dad for catching me and my parents. Thank you, US Kid, for setting up this.
First, I would like to thank God for this very special day.
And friendships. Friendships starts at the golf course. Not just kids, but families as well. And that's a big thing for us, a very big thing for us, to have great friends. Actually, we've got some great golfing friends. And we're actually a family.
This event is a culmination of over 25,000 players from 50 different countries competing in over 1,800 tournaments around the world. All in pursuit of becoming world champion.
So that's the World Championship, and it's going to be this year's event is going to be just as good, if not the best one ever, as Lauren already alluded to. Before we talk about the World Championship, this is very important. This cannot happen without the help and support of a lot of people and a lot of organizations. It's not just U.S. Kids Golf. This is our event, but we have so much great help. This live stream, which I know is going to be watched by thousands, tens of thousands of people, is really brought to you because one organization really wanted to make it happen and worked with us in order to do that. So I'd like to bring in Mr. Fred Palmer from Club Car.
All right, Fred, if you'd like to come on up and join us here.
Come on, Fred.
In the hot seat, we like to call this, on live TV and also on live streaming events. Fred, I've known you for quite some time. You go even further back with John Kim and with U.S. Kids Golf overall. You're the VP of Golf Business Development for Club Car. And
I'm sorry, guys. My bad. Keep going.
No, that's fine. And just walk us through kind of your relationship with this event, with U.S. Kids Golf, and why this is so important to your organization.
Well, just that the baseline, Club Car began as a golf company, so it's in our DNA, it's our roots. And this is just a great way to continue to support the game that has been so good to us individually and corporately. And, the cradle of American golf, this is kind of like where it should be. So it's really easy to be a part of something like this.
Fred, how many of these World Championships do you think you've been to?
I've counted 12.
You've been to 12 of these. That's amazing.
Bad.
So some of the kids that you watched march through probably have played on and won on the PGA Tour or the LPGA Tour now.
I think it's amazing the roster of talent that's come through these tournaments and where they are today. I heard some story about a PGA Tour player was interviewed just recently and said, I played in the Van Horn Cup. And that's when he came to Pinehurst. That was the last time he had been there since. And so I think you're getting some real brand identity with the connection between PGA and LPGA Tour players and globally, not just the States.
What does Club Car want folks at home to know about Club Car's involvement in bringing this event, and in particular this parade, to the masses?
Well, the parade is a celebration of this whole week and about just kind of capping off the achievement of being here. And there's so much patriotism, and the Olympics are going on in France. And it's just one of those things that kind of gets everybody charged up for the week. And then competition, it's excitement. And then it comes into the game, golf.
I want folks at home to know if when you're looking for a personal vehicle, think about Club Car. Think about all the good that they do for golf. That's both an endorsement and an acknowledgement of how important you guys have been to U.S. Kids Golf.
Well, thanks.
And you personally coming to 12 of these, that's more than I have. So that's pretty darn good. You've seen it grow, and you've seen the way that it affects families and how important it is to them from all over the world. So on behalf of them, thank you guys for being such great supporters of the event, of U.S. Kids Golf, and of junior golf and the next generation carrying the torch. For all of us.
Absolutely. Always good to be with you, John and Lauren. Thank you. Have a great week. And I know it'll be a lot of
Onward XR keeps going, so you can stay close to the ones you love.
And I know that you're all tuning in to watch the parade, which is going to start in just a few minutes. But before we do, Chris, very important, not just Club Car, but a lot of people make things happen here. You're involved in this community. You live here. You know what kind of support it takes.
Yeah, John, this week we have 10 golf courses hosting over 1,430 kids. And just I've seen over the last 8 years that I've lived here is every year the community just gets behind the event more and more. We have 400 volunteers this year, filling 1,300 shifts, and it's just amazing what they can do. Without the support of Pinehurst, kind of being our anchor site, this wouldn't be possible. So they're not only just growing the game with hosting the U.S. Open, but they're growing the next generation of golfers.
Going back to what you said about all the people that come here, I think the first thing that pops in my mind is this couldn't be done without volunteers.
Yeah.
And Lauren, you talked to the volunteer earlier today and just asked them what it was like to volunteer here at the championship.
I did, absolutely. I'm going to let you hear exactly what they said in just a moment. But just to kind of hear about their experiences, what drives them, how they got involved in the game of golf in the first place. You know, a lot of conversations happen before the cameras are rolling, but why don't you meet this volunteer herself and see what motivates her to be a part of the action? You know that volunteers are absolutely crucial to pulling off a successful golf event, and I am so honored to be joined by one of our volunteers right here at Pinehurst, Deb Fitzgerald. So, Deb, what made you want to be a volunteer, first of all, at the U.S. Kids Golf World Championship?
Well, ever since I retired 10 years ago, I really wanted to put things back into the community. So I have volunteered for quite a number of things. But golf has been one of my favorites. I did first tee for quite a while. I've done the Opens. I've done the Women's Opens. And it was just natural to eventually get into U.S. Kids since it's so much a part of our community.
All right, so the pros are one thing, but how much fun is it to watch the juniors in action?
Oh, no, the kids are absolutely the most fun. Over the years, I've done scoring and registration, transportation, and the kids are just fabulous. Scoring is like my absolute favorite. When they come to the table, I have never laughed so hard.
They volunteer their time because they love the game of golf and they love the impact that the U.S. Kids Golf World Championships has on not just the area, but on the globe and truly growing the game by definition. Now, we talk about the support of the volunteers, but the support of the USGA is massive as well. Chris, they just opened up their second campus right here in Pinehurst. So what has it been like working with them?
They've been great. You know, the community is it's just not a bunch of golf courses anymore. There's industry leaders coming into town and, you know, being able to share ideas and work together. They've been great this week. They just opened the Golf Hall of Fame, and they're letting all the players that are participating in the championships come over for free and take a tour, and then they're letting their families in for a reduced rate. So just they've been great friends and very welcoming to our families and see the value of growing the game together.
Let's hear from our friends at the USGA and see what they had to say earlier today.
To be joined by Janine Driscoll of the USGA Director in Brand Partnerships, and we're here at the 2024 U.S. Kids Golf World Championships. The USGA is absolutely essential in protecting the game of golf overall. So, Janine, how cool is it to look out the window and literally see the future of the game?
Lauren, I just can't believe 1,300 kids and their families. This is where you just see the energy of golf happening right before your eyes. And in all honesty, this is exactly why the USGA chose Pinehurst as its second headquarters, so that we could see these events and these actions happen among the future of the game.
And go on in the professional game as well. We were talking about the U.S. Open itself and how a big number of those professional players actually came through this exact track.
I can't believe it, Lauren. Over 50 of the competitors that were in the final field for the U.S. Open this year in 2024 had some touch point with U.S. Kids Golf, and that is proof positive that this program is changing lives and it is creating the next generation of golfers. And I just can't wait to see what comes out of this year's event and what we can see 20 years from now.
She's excited. We're excited. The kids are definitely excited. And from important organizations to important venues, Pinehurst is the one under the spotlight this particular week. It is quite the challenge for all of the kids. Chris, we're going to talk about your relationship with Pinehurst, but first, let's talk to the man in charge. Pleased to be joined by the president of Pinehurst himself, Tom Pashley. So, Tom, it's an exciting time of year for junior golf, needless to say, right now at Pinehurst. But 2024 has been exciting, to say the least. How would you sum up the year here on this particular property?
2024 has been a year for the ages. It started with us preparing to open a brand new golf course, Pinehurst number 10, in April. Then the World Golf Hall of Fame opened in May. Then we hosted the U.S. Open in June, and now to be able to welcome back the U.S. Kids World Golf Championship is really special.
Then what do you want people to walk away from Pinehurst saying to everyone who perhaps have not been there and been here and taken this trip?
I think we know the golf is going to be great, but it's the hospitality, the way they feel, the way they're treated, the people of Pinehurst and how welcoming they are, what a special place it is to come to. Again, I think the golf is understood, but what people are surprised by is how nice everyone is, how welcome they feel. We want them to tell everybody that when they go home.
Well, it's already been a great week, and it's going to continue to be exciting. Tom Pashley, thanks you for your hospitality and for hosting the U.S. Kids World Golf Championship.
So, love Tom, love Pinehurst. Chris, you have to do quite a bit of work with them. It must have been tough this year to get ready for the World Championship after they hosted the U.S. Open.
Yeah, there were some obvious challenges with hosting the U.S. Open. For example, Pinehurst number 1, the main entrance of the whole championship went right through course number 1, hole 18 and hole 1. So we had to make some changes, and we've had some challenging weather over the last couple of weeks with rain and not being able to get everything done, but they've been so helpful and just working through things like that make this a unique year. But then, there's kids get out there and they're like, oh, the U.S. Open players were playing right here. So it makes it for a good experience for them. But they've been great and making accommodations for us this year. But every year, really, as I said, they're an anchor site for this championship. And what Tom and his team, Eric Kuster, and just everyone all the way down, all the golf professionals and maintenance team and food and beverage, they love seeing the kids come in. It's become a tradition. This is 19 years here that Pinehurst has been the anchor of hosting it.
And it's funny. You wouldn't think that kids would really want to take a deep dive into the history of some of these courses, but you talk to them when you're walking around the halls of Pinehurst and you're seeing all the trophies and all the old black and white photos and the blueprints for the design and everything else. And I mean, they are just as involved and just as excited. And I feel like it's fresh in their minds what Bryson DeChambeau just pulled off at the U.S. Open as well. So they want to play the same places where these pros that they follow play.
There's probably going to be a few kids going out to that bunker this week.
Just a few. They want to see if they can pull off that same shot.
I know you guys are waiting to see the parade. I'm gotten word the parade at its start point has actually started. When they get here, we're going to put them on. But I do want to do two things. One, Chris, before we get to talking a little bit more about the U.S. Open, very important to note, not the only course that we're playing here. You said 10 courses earlier. We're not taking all 10 Pinehurst courses.
No, we're not. And as I said earlier, it is truly a community event worldwide. Pinehurst, Southern Pines, Aberdeen, all the local businesses. But, Pine Needles, Mid Pines, Talamore. I could just keep on going through. Longleaf Golf Club. So there's a whole bunch of them. As you said, there's 10 of them. And it takes a relationship with their members, with their whole staff, willing to do it. It's different for them.
That's amazing. It is really amazing that the amount of support and community involvement that we get in this area. So everyone, Moore County, North Carolina, thank you. It couldn't be done without you guys.
I mean, go over to Mid Pines this week. There's 210 boys 7 and 8 year olds. If you have a boy 7 or 8 year old, you understand what 210 of them will be like. But it is, they do it so well, and they make it feel like their U.S. Open, and they're so welcoming. I mean, the kids running down the hall, as you said, looking at the history. Over at Longleaf, we have 200 girls playing over there, and but we wouldn't have it any other way.
Speaking
the next
of
generation.
Okay, so speaking of the U.S. Open, let's you had the U.S. Open here. What was cool about having the U.S. Open here, other than the fact that it was in your backyard and U.S. Kids Golf?
Yeah, I think Pinehurst is a really unique village to host the U.S. Open. It's very intimate. Right where the parade is happening, this was all kind of parties and DJs and people hanging out having fun.
Check out this graphic on the screen right now.
Yeah.
So this is incredible. There were 50 members. Over a third of the field of the U.S. Open are former U.S. Kids Golf players.
Yeah, 50 alumni. That's pretty impressive. I knew the number, and I would go around before we put it out there and say, how many alumni do you think we have playing in the U.S. Open?
So I've got to point out that not only, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this started right before the U.S. Open. Saw an interview on Golf Channel. Let's go ahead and play that.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Pinehurst used to be kind of the pinnacle for me. U.S. Kids, kind of 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. I think I might have played it when I was 13 as well. And, I haven't been back since. So it's been 15 years. Don't remember the course at all, but I'm very excited to kind of go into our third major after this.
So, speaking of Colin Morikawa, he's at the Olympics right now. And with the Olympics going on, with the U.S. Open here, I know we've talked about it, but what a fantastic year in golf. And now look, we're here at the 25th World Championship. You got beautiful weather, and I know we got a parade coming up here.
Yeah, John. As you were saying, 50 alumni playing in the U.S. Open. I got a cool experience. I walked on Saturday a few holes with Tom McKibben's dad, and I said, "Have you been back to Pinehurst?" And he said, "No, I haven't been back since Tom won when he was a 12-year-old. He won the World Championship at Pinehurst number 8." He said, "So we came in a few days early and we went out as a family and played Pinehurst number 8 to bring back all those memories." And that's just one story of all these alumni that their first experience at Pinehurst was coming for the World Championship. And then they got to come back and play in the U.S. Open. How cool is that?
That is unbelievable.
Huge.
Yeah, I've actually heard tons of stories this week already about families that associate Pinehurst with the World Championship who also were able to come here and watch the U.S. Open. And talk about now a landmark location, memory, and experience for these families.
Well, these families, I mean, these kids that are going to be adults one day and go on their own golf trips and have their own kids, where are they going to go? They're going to go to Pinehurst and say, "Hey, I played in the World Championship when I was 8, when I was 12, right on this golf course." So it's just not a single destination. They're going to be coming here for generations. And we've seen a lot of families that have come here for the World Championship. They move here. They move here for they come experience the community, fall in love with the community, and end up moving here. Dozens and dozens of families that's happened to.
And as the parade is coming in, want to point out, just because of the Olympics that are happening right now, we said that there were 50 U.S. Kids Golf alumni that played in the U.S. Open. That's a pretty incredible number. Also want to point out there are 19 alumni that are playing in the Olympics. Now you think about how small contingency each country can have. To have 19 players from around the world representing the best of their nation, and they've played in U.S. Kids Golf World Championships, pretty phenomenal.
Pretty neat. A lot of
that's a
just
massive
looking at
stat.
the names. A lot of fun. A lot of international kids in there, and I know they're going to represent their country well, not only on the golf course, but just as individuals.
Mm-hmm. And golf, I mean, being relatively young back to the Olympics, 2016 was the first time you saw golf in the Olympics overall in more than 100 years. So, and that was in Rio. And to see it making such a strong statement worldwide, that continues to grow the game. This grows the game right here. But if you go back even further, of course, the U.S. Open is one thing. But if you look at players across the board who participated in U.S. Kids Golf, it's a who's who. I mean, you've got Lexi Thompson. Cheyenne Woods played with U.S. Kids Golf. I believe it was 2000. That was her first time being a part of this event. I mean, it shows you how bright the future of golf is, to know that these kids who are performing on these venues, major championship venues like Pinehurst, are getting that skill set and then could go on to be some of the brightest stars in the game.
Yeah, we had the Van Horn Cup, the World Teen Van Horn Cup last Sunday on number 4, and Dan Van Horn was in there, and he was talking to the kids, and he said, "One day, one of you are going to win a major championship, and that's going to happen." And,
that's inspiring
and how cool
stuff.
is that? And then these kids go out and shoot, 66 on Pinehurst number 4. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, and then before they go out and do that, they get to be a part of this parade, and they get to have people cheering their names, and they get to be the ones waving back home if you're tuning in and you're watching your child from another country, another state perhaps, and you've got that pride going on, but you're seeing what they're already accomplishing. I mean, this is exciting stuff.
It is.
So
it is.
Just folks that know, I know it's fun hearing us talk, but You tuned in to see a parade. So the way that this parade works is we have a staging area pretty close to the main resort. And the kids get to line up there, and there's a large group of spectators here, and they want to see the parade. So they've already started the march. That it will ultimately end up here in the village of Pinehurst. So the parade is happening, and as soon as it gets here, we're going to bring it to you. But if you've been to Pinehurst, you know the route that goes from the resort to the Carolina Hotel and then down through the village. So the parade will be starting any moment now. I do want to point out, this is important here. The U.S. Kids Golf Foundation is what starts and hosts this tournament, and along with more tournaments than any organization in golf. And we have a lot of great supporters out there, not only that support this parade and this event, but the foundation and all the work that it does. So just want to point out, for those the supporters out there, want to say thank you so much. I mean, we could literally not do this without you. And want folks to know that when you donate to the U.S. Kids Golf Foundation, when we say it means the world and so much more, that's it. It means the world, as in the World Championship, but also the outreach, the work that's being done around the world by the foundation. If you want to help, if you want to put your support behind it, you can go to foundation.uskidsgolf.com/how you can help. And there's a dash between each words, how-you-can-help. And would love to hear from you. Would love for you to get involved. You can volunteer at this World Championship. You can volunteer at a number of our events. And certainly any way that you want to support junior golf, we'd love to hear how you'd like to be involved. So just want to take a little moment to bring that up.
Yeah.
And then, Chris, back to the foundation and its involvement here. We have a base here in Pinehurst as well.
We do. We have a base here at Longleaf Golf and Family Club, and we have an academy there. We have over 500 juniors that we teach, and we have world champions there. And it's a great family environment where kids come and they come after school every day. It's amazing just seeing how many kids. We went from 2015 having 0 kids to having over 500 kids that come and learn the game over there. And we teach our player pathway curriculum that our certified coaches across the world coach. So it's really good to see, and it's really good to see a lot of those kids playing this week in the World Champion. It's a testament to the coaches and everything that Longleaf is doing.
If the name Longleaf sounds familiar to you, it is also the birthplace of the Longleaf Tee System, which is a data-based program or system, so to speak, finding the correct yardage and tees for every golfer to play from. And it has shown remarkable success in bringing in new players and keeping in players of all ages and all skills. So I get emails about that every week.
Well, rightfully so. I mean, that's the first that I heard from the Longleaf Tee System. I remember being on Golf Channel and you know, we had some coworkers go out. We tested it out. We got to hear about it. I got to see it in action last year at this exact event. Longleaf, an incredible course, but the Tee System just makes sense. You called it data-driven, data-based. A great way to know what tee boxes you should use, you know, just to assess the game for kids. It's just an incredible jumping off point.
Yeah, well, it's really simple. Ever how far you hit your drive, that's going to determine where you what tee you should play from. And John, as you said, it's just not a program for kids. It's a program for players of all ages and all skill levels. As we put it in at Longleaf, it was really amazing to see all of the senior golfers that came back to the game because of the tee system and made their first par or made their first birdie.
Well, with that said, guess what, folks? We have a parade.
It's about that time.
Let's get to the first carts have now started entering. And this is wonderful here, starting being led here by the sheriff here of Moore County and the military band.
Yeah, John, it's neat seeing the 82nd Airborne Color Guard and marching band. Pretty special.
There in the horse-drawn carriage is the president and founder, Dan Van Horn, and his lovely wife, Jennifer Van Horn. So great to see them. Always lead the parade for us, and grateful for all the work and effort they put in towards not only this championship, but for junior golf.
Talk about passion for the game of golf. You talk with Dan for just a couple of minutes. It is obvious where this idea came from and how it's grown to the effect that it has. I mean, what a way to kick off our parade right now with the red, white, and blue and some of our servicemen and women. And then, of course, Dan Van Horn and his wife. We have some beauty queens as well representing.
The beauty queens. We got a drum band. Oh, wait, and Putter Boy.
Well, you can't have an event at Pinehurst without Putter Boy.
Chris, what's the story with the VGA truck?
Yeah, the Veterans Golf Association. So if you can hear it over the horn, we actually hosted a VGA U.S. Kids Golf event on Monday at Longleaf, and military families, their kids were able to play in the championship and qualify for the World Championship. So it was a really neat event. We had some weather challenges, but we got it done. So it's great what the Veterans Golf Association is doing for all of the veterans out there, using golf as an avenue to relate back to coming back from things that they've seen in war and whatnot. So
absolutely. Well, golf is an incredible vehicle itself for those who have served our country. Some men and women who have served, who have never played golf in their life, came back. They wanted an avenue to get out on the golf course, to socialize with fellow veterans, and also to truly heal themselves from the invisible wounds of war. And the VGA is an incredible way for them to do that. If you're a veteran or a serviceman or woman of our country, please check out VGA. They do incredible work. They have great tournaments as well.
Well, this is always a treat. We got past champions that also help lead the parade.
We do. It's really neat. I went through was looking today, and every past champion, everyone that won last year is back here again this year. And that's pretty special to see. I know they're all excited to play and defend their title. Florida is very well represented on that card as well. They have 3 champions from last year and some from California and Georgia.
Well, listen, I'm from the Sunshine State myself, and when you can play golf year-round, that's always going to help your game.
Makes
but to see the drive that they've got just to get here and the grit that they have shown. I spoke with a young man earlier today who was in his 4th visit, or I guess you could say his 4th appearance for the U.S. Kids Golf World Championship. And it was too cool to hear about his first experience versus his 4th and how much he's grown as a player, how much he enjoyed the experience, and now he's the one who gets to help all the other kids who are possibly first-timers out here at Pinehurst.
And here's another bus of past champions from last year.
Full of them. There's a lot of golf skills on those wheels, I can tell you right there. You watch these kids on the range, it's insane.
We got a lot of birdies right there.
There's Bella birdies. Hey, Bella. Bella's won 4 U.S. Kids Golf World Championships, going for her 5th this year. That would tie a record, Chris? Is that right?
Yeah, that would.
That's amazing.
Unbelievable. I got to say, balloons these days are a little different than they were when I was a kid having a party.
Yeah,
you do these like arches, and I mean, there's a lot of skill to it, but it's certainly getting the kids out here excited. They're throwing candy.
Chris,
they're getting pumped up. No pun intended.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, is this another? No, this is a
Holly Pop.
Holly Pop. I didn't get a candy.
Listen, you can hire them.
They
will
candy.
decorate your house. They've got candy, but they've got balloons too. That's incredible.
They got an arch
structure.
there. The kids are going to get to walk underneath.
I kind of wanted.
Oh, John, did you want candy? You didn't get any candy.
All right. Noted. I'll remember that one, Holly Pop. Hey, the Pinehurst trolley.
Great way to get around Pinehurst Village.
It is a great way. So now this is always one of the parts of the parade that not everybody understands unless we tell folks, and that is that these vehicles move a little bit faster than these kids. So the parade, which all started out everybody right together, the vehicles have now driven through. So we're going to have just a little bit of a gap before the kids get here. But what you just saw was not only a celebration of the sponsors and the community that support this event, also the last year's champions. It's phenomenal. as Chris said, that they're able to come back. I mean, they've accomplished a huge, major goal, and they love the event enough to come back and try it again. So that's really awesome.
One story I would love to revisit, just because I've been able to play side by side with her, is Alexa Pano. I mean, we follow her on Golf Channel, her early years, her appearances in the drive, chip, and putt at Augusta National. She was a part of the Augusta National Women's Amateur, the very first rendition of that event. And so I've seen her as a kid. Now she's taller than I am, and she's out there. She's an LPGA Tour winner. She won last year. I believe it was on her birthday, and then she's about to turn 20 years old in August. And I mean, to see what she's accomplished already. And it started here.
And she was kind enough to record that video to welcome everybody to this year's World Championship. So she hasn't forgotten us. She still stays in touch. Her and her dad have been great supporters.
They have been. And I got a really cool gift that showed up in the mail. It was a signed flag and scorecard from her first win.
That's awesome.
Just telling us thank you for everything that we did to help her with the game. And, she's in the movie The Short Game in the documentary.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that on Netflix, you need to go check it out. It still shows her journey and a lot of other journeys.
The Short Game on Netflix. Okay, guess what, folks? We have some golfers coming up.
Welcome Argentina!
All right. Hey, Argentina. Chris, tell me everything you know about Argentina.
I know they're pretty good at soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good at soccer. Incredible steaks. I've got a friend who's married to an Argentinian man, and oh my gosh, he's incredible.
They must be pretty good at golf, too. They got a few folks here.
Just a bit, yeah.
That's wonderful.
It is so fun to see these kids representing their countries, waving their flags.
Please welcome Australia!
Australia
this is
in the house.
Big
And
contingent.
you want to talk about people who traveled, racked up some frequent flyer miles coming here.
We did.
I mean, I believe, I've got to find the stat right now, but the player who traveled the absolute farthest, it was over 10,000 miles.
That's
that was
right.
from Olive Spitty.
Yep.
From Lake Charm, Australia.
We have
10,000 miles.
29 players from Australia. How cool is that?
Oh my gosh.
Really? I can't get that many at my
lot of
club
frequent flyer
championship.
miles.
Yeah.
A two-time world champion, Zach Wolf. He's in the field. He's looking to win his third world championship here.
All right. Well, Australia's stopping to say hello. Look at that.
And you know they're going to make that chant loud and proud as they make their way through Pinehurst Village.
You didn't know that it's not just a commercial. That's a real cheer.
Please welcome Austria!
Austria in the house, representing proudly.
And whether there's 30 of them or there's 4 of them, it's just as fun.
I almost enjoy the smaller contingents because I feel like they just show that they're so dedicated to the game. They may not have necessarily the same support system back home, but they're going to get here.
Well, and John, it's really a testament to seeing what our local tour directors are doing out across the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have over 100 directors domestically and over 80 internationally, and they're the ones that really are doing the grassroots of growing the game. We see Bahamas come by.
I believe the Bahamas has invited me to check out the golf facilities there.
Are you inviting yourself to check out their golf facility? I mean, hey, it's not a bad angle. Listen, I don't think you should do this alone. I think this should be like a U.S. kids golf family trip.
And you know what? Barbados wouldn't be bad either.
No, we'll just hop around. I think we should go out and see them on the golf courses that they typically play, the ones that they learn on. In-depth stories.
Well, it does, John, to go back to it just.
For Belgium.
The foundation couldn't, as you mentioned earlier, the foundation couldn't do it without the support of everybody out there and helping our local tour directors and helping them locally, because we're here in Pinehurst celebrating around the world, but the game is really growing locally with our certified coaches, with our tour directors. So.
Well, right after Belgium, and those girls did a great job holding their flag, we've got Brazil on the way.
I'm sure they'll be quiet.
Oh, so subtle. You got to be loud and proud, right? You're with your crew. You're wearing your colors. You've got your flag.
They are always one of the most enthusiastic groups. I love that.
Well, they've got reason to be enthusiastic. Bella Samoas has won 4 world championships. She's on the hunt for her 5th title. At the age of 10, they're accomplishing big things, and they clearly have the support, too.
So our next, outside of the United States, our biggest group is Canada. So here they come.
I played some golf in Canada. They've got some great courses. I've got a trip planned to Ottawa next month.
I think they're hosting the President's Cup this year.
Exactly. I was just about to get to that.
I tell you what, we're going to be here a minute. There's a lot of them.
It's just not hockey players.
They don't stop. Look at this. There must be a shortage on Canadian flags up there because they're all right here.
Well, I have a feeling even the people tuning in at home and watching them live right now are cheering them on. What a way to represent Canada. Some young future golfers in that crowd. Hey, whether you're walking or you're strolling,
this
you're
is
here
really
at the
one
parade.
of the coolest things. So honestly, I've been so fortunate to see so many great events in the golf world. But I don't think there's anything that compares with this parade. Just the amount of energy and pride that they have, not just in their country or their state, but look at the faces of the parents and how proud they are of their kids and being able to show them off to the world here.
You know, John, we've been doing this parade for quite a while. I don't think I'm getting kind of chills looking around and just seeing the community. I don't think we've ever had this many people out here before.
It is packed. Guys, this is not a small village, but it is wall to wall. Like, it is 10 deep behind us.
Applause for China.
China here at the 2024 U.S. Kids Golf World Championships. They've made their mark in the past, and they're ready to do it again.
I tell you what, that's some Sky Miles there, too.
No kidding. That is quite the trip when I want to do one day.
And now, we'll wait for them.
Colombia. Hey, they got the memo on the matching polo shirts.
Yeah.
The parents are smiling just as
Think
big
about
as the
how
kids are.
serious they take this parade to get the matching outfits, to bring the flags, the outfits. We see the hats and
the parents are matching everybody.
Yeah,
I know,
folks. This is a country that's not close. I mean, you have to prepare quite a bit you can't just run out to the local store and buy.
But listen, the timing is right. I mean, you want to have an exciting summer as a kid who is a golfer. Before school starts back, you want to be a part of the Parade of Nations, and you want to be a part of the U.S. Kids World Golf Championships. Costa Rica, one of my favorite vacation destinations. Haven't been able to play golf over there, but they have some beautiful tracks.
Look at, it's a flag. He's wearing the flag. I thought it was an outfit.
He's also wearing the hair, too.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I got to get one of those.
Welcome, Denmark.
Holding that flag nice and tall.
So, cool thing about Denmark, you either get the flag or the sign, but everybody's going to carry something.
There you go.
You know,
and a big hand for Ecuador.
I think a lot of these kids are going to have a hard time sleeping tonight.
They will.
Welcome, Estonia.
But, when you watch them out on the golf course, they're so serious, right? And they're like tour professionals.
Oh, yeah.
But then do you remember you
mimic
come
the
out here?
pros.
That's right. Then you come out here and you got to remember they're just kids. Just how kids out here wanting to have fun.
I got to point this out, though. They do have fun.
Please welcome France.
Hello, France, Olympic host. Skipping the Olympics to come here. That was very nice of them. These kids are
a past
really,
champion from France.
Really, really good. I mean, like, really good, and it bothers me.
Casey Dunlap, our boys' 8th world champion last year.
Incredible.
Please welcome Germany.
You know, I have to say this. One person I don't always give credit to, but I will this time. Chris Vonderkaal, at the award ceremony on Saturday night, your ability to fluently go from one language to another to announce winners' names, that's somewhat impressive.
Well, John, I study for a long time, and I probably don't get them right, but I feel like I get them right. But last week at the World Teen Championship, we had 3 girls from Thailand winning the same age group get a trophy, and they
Those
were
can be challenging names. Yes.
Sometimes I just want to have them come up and announce their own name.
Hello, Guatemala. Hey, that's the same song Brazil was singing.
And then the parents kind of hanging back a little bit, letting the kids have their moment and then having their own. I like that.
Oh, check out the Honduras
in the
outfit.
house. Let's go.
That's the most elaborate outfit I've seen from a player. And
she's ready.
And the caddy. Check out the caddy outfit. Honduras brought it.
That's good. That's real good. Here we go.
Big game for Hong Kong.
Hong Kong making their way through the Parade of Nations.
You know, one of the things that you have to remember is we see them as contingents that are going by. Back home, there are major news stories about these players coming to the United States and to Pinehurst in particular to represent their nation. It's really a big deal.
Yeah, John, I want to mention what our friends in India, the work that they've put in. Our Indian contingent has grown every year, and they're playing some great golf in India and doing a really good job of growing the game for these kids. So I think you're going to see a lot more players from India on the PGA Tour in the coming years.
I can absolutely believe that, 100%. Indonesia.
I like when the kids make up their own chants, too. That's fun. Oh, my gosh. It's that point in the parade when your cheeks start to hurt because you're just smiling so hard because you're looking at them,
so
their
much
faces, and their
fun
parents'
for
faces.
them.
Nothing better. Ireland. Now, that's a place that knows some good golf. There are some unreal bucket list courses in Ireland, as we know.
So
our director Zoe Allen doing a great job in Ireland. She has she hosted her Ireland Championship the last 2 years, and she's it's growing it each year. People want to go to Ireland to play golf.
Yeah, they do. Now, I want to go to Ireland to play golf. I want to go to Italy to play golf, but I want to go to Italy for the food, the wine.
Well, we have our Venice Open coming up in a few weeks. If you
I might have to figure my way out into that. There we go. There we go.
But Lola Gertz, what she's done in Italy and all of Europe to continue to grow golf has been great. So. We have Japan coming up. Our girls,
Japan.
Our girls 7 and under world champions from Japan. Emi Miyanami, and she's back defending her title this year.
That's I love how the international contingencies continue to just get stronger and better, and they are phenomenal in their support of the event and of each other.
Yeah, John, we have almost 500 international players this year. So
Please welcome Kenya.
I love this. I love the story, folks. We talked about the foundation earlier. The Kenyan Golf Foundation reached out to U.S. Kids Golf and asked for some help in establishing some programs down there. And the short version is it has helped really grow the sport in Kenya, and I have a feeling that it's going to show its ripple effect to many nations there in Africa. That is just awesome to see.
Yeah, that's right, John. Another quiet group coming along.
Oh, okay. So Korea's the calm before the very loud group.
A sea of green. Mexico, flags waving, green T-shirts on just about everyone in that crowd. Unreal amount of representation for Mexico.
How good is it? The mariachi band in there this year?
Oh, please.
Last year they had a mariachi band. I think this year they
I see some instruments back there.
Oh, do you really?
Oh, yeah.
I was about to say,
Here they come.
They don't need it. Look at this group. I see a luchador mask. I actually see a luchador mask. That's a first.
That's incredible. There they are.
Oh, my gosh. We have a mariachi band.
I mean, go big or go home, right? Mexico clearly understands that.
And
wow.
the mask. I love this.
Would it be weird if we got up and started dancing with the mariachi
I know.
band?
Their energy is contagious.
Wow.
Yeah. Too cool. So much fun. Morocco. Some very cute budding golfers in this crowd. One in the stroller in the back. He's just trying to figure out his flag.
Yeah.
He just wants to wave the flag. Let's go.
Please welcome New Zealand.
You know, John, you were talking about 25 years of the World Championships and thinking back when it started at Jekyll Island and Dan's vision and what he's done to grow golf. It's amazing what he's done for all these families and seeing to what it's become now. We're sitting here in the village of Pinehurst with a parade of nations. How cool.
Look at this crowd. I am still just in awe of how many people have come out today to support this event. That just shows some real enthusiasm and love from Pinehurst and the surrounding area, Southern Pines and Aberdeen and so many places that are just awesome, golf knowledgeable folks.
And John, you know, the other thing, this is Tuesday, right? The tournament doesn't start
That's
until
a good point.
Thursday, but it's really a week of celebration, really 2 weeks of celebrations. We had our World Teen Championship last year, as I said, for 13, last week, for 13 to 18-year-olds. But this week is not only just the World Championships Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the Van Horn Cup Sunday, but we had parent-childs the last 2 days. And, you know, the mission of U.S. Kids Golf is golf, you know, fun, family, memories, and they got to go out there today with their parents and play in the parent-child. So it's more than just a 3-day golf tournament. It's truly a family. It's become a family destination and a family vacation with a golf tournament in between.
One thing that I think is so cool that just kind of, I think, sums up how passionate Dan Van Horn is about these kids and growing their game is a story that I heard being a newcomer to being on property for this event just a couple years ago.
Welcome,
and,
Tommy!
you know, you've got a lot of veteran pros, legends, like real legends of the game whose kids have played in this event, and how easily it would have been for Dan and the U.S. Kids Golf team to focus on having these huge names out here at this event who are supporting their kids. But Dan said no. He wants the parents to be parents, the kids to be the stars of the event. I think we can say it now because they're not here, but Annika Sorenstam's son has participated in this. Tiger Woods' son has participated in this. And it could have been about the parents those years, but it wasn't. And I think that shows you the priorities and shows you where the importance level is. It's not about publicity. It's about shining the light on these kids and their future careers.
No, that's right. We had the great stats of 50 players, alumni played in the U.S. Open and in the Olympics. But it's really about creating a golfer for a lifetime. So, you know, with the right equipment and the right coaching and the right tournaments, that's really what you're trying to do. You're trying to grow the game and grow the game as a family. So these kids are going to go back home and they're playing against the best players in the world this week, but next week they're going to play against their mom and dad.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. Puerto Rico, and then thankfully we
Welcome, Russia!
We have a representative of Russia.
There we go. Look at him.
We got them all over. Got them all covered.
Looking good
he's
out
got to
there.
carry the sign and the flag.
Yes,
That's
proudly,
work.
and he's doing a fantastic job.
That's work.
Now, just as a resource to parents who might be chiming in, USKidsGolf.com is kind of such a great one-stop shop. I mean, you want equipment that's made for kids. The tours, of course, and the World Championship, that's one thing. But if you just have questions, it's a great resource to go to.
Yeah, there's everything there from how to find a coach, how to get the right equipment. Welcome Singapore. I think Singapore just came by. And then we have another Slovakia. One representative from Slovakia was able to make it. That's awesome.
Yeah, Lauren, you're right. This week we're celebrating a tournament, but U.S. Kids Golf is more than just tournaments. We're recognizing the top golf coaches, youth golf coaches in the world. We're having the best equipment for them to play. So it's and then having the facility at Longleaf for them to come and play and the families to do it all together. So it's
Please welcome South Africa.
How about that unity? Front row. They got their arms around each other, ready to support each other out on the golf course this week, but also, to do their best on an individual level as well. But how much fun they're all having just as one unified crew out here in Pinehurst Village.
I have a feeling we'll see some good golf from South Africa this week.
Oh, yeah.
What a rich legacy of great golf there.
Big hand for Spain.
Spania plays near and dear to my heart. Spent some time there in college with studies, but the golf there is out of this world. So is the food.
Studies in quotes.
Studies.
Right?
Studying abroad is a great way to learn the language, and I convinced my parents of that, and luckily they were on board. So
welcome, Switzerland.
Switzerland. Wow.
What do you think the Swiss contingent here feels about the North Carolina humidity?
Yeah, I don't know. It feels pretty good tonight.
Today feels fantastic.
Mid-afternoon.
Whoever ordered this weather for this parade this year, thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Really
welcome,
spectacular. Hello, Taiwan.
There are a lot of really rough temperatures going on across the country right now, so we're lucky to be right here in North Carolina, where it's not too bad. It's just
nice
summertime.
breeze. I think they have the hardest job up there trying to keep everybody back. Everyone just wants to come.
I can tell you guys at home, if you're looking for your favorite player in a particular under a banner contingency, it's not always the easiest thing to get a bunch of kids to stay in a tight formation.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
When they see their friends over in the other
they're
group.
everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work in the controlled chaos.
They're doing a good job of keeping them together. Hey, what is this
loud
group? Thailand.
Thailand, getting the party started.
Wow. That's a lot of kids from Thailand, Chris.
It is a lot of kids from Thailand. It makes me scared about how many names I'm going to have to announce on Saturday night.
Did that last week. Yeah, that'll be quite the challenge, but well worthwhile.
Worth the challenge, absolutely.
That's a large, enthusiastic group there. I love that.
And I have a feeling that group's just going to keep on getting bigger and bigger. So
there we go. That's what we want.
I love when we follow the large groups with the single sole representative.
Big hand for Turkey.
Hey, representation is representation, no matter how large or small the group is here.
I love that. I think that's my favorite. I'm always going to root for the underdog, though, the one-person group. I would have lost a bet with this one. I didn't realize that we had a group from this
Uganda.
Please welcome Uganda.
Like, I can foresee a day when we have champions from countries that have never had champions before.
Yeah, it goes back to, people see this. They're going to see this, and they're going to say, well, I want to start a local tour in my country.
Yes.
And grow the game. And that's how it starts. It has to start somewhere. And they're going to see him at the World Championship, and then you're going to see him at the Olympics.
Oh, United Arab Emirates. Oh, he's adamant. You are paying attention to his sign. Love that.
Please welcome the UK.
United Kingdom in full effect.
And they're carrying all the flags of the United Kingdom there.
Good.
Didn't we have some of the members of United Kingdom come by? No? Am I wrong? Maybe I did. Maybe I'm wrong. I was like, do they get double time?
Please welcome Venezuela.
John, this is a pretty easy job when the stars of the show are really just out there, just showing their emotion, having them walk by.
A big hand for Vietnam.
I know it's not always easy because there's a lot of kids out here that come by. They sometimes come by pretty quick. I hope you're able to spot your favorite player as you're watching at home or at the office or on your phone. I know on your phone it might be a little small, but I hope also that you get a sense of the energy and the enthusiasm and just the sheer joy that we're seeing as these kids come by and their families come by. So that will do it for our international portion of the parade. Again, from Argentina to
for the United
Venezuela.
States is Alabama.
And now we come to the U.S. portion. We're going to have 47 states represented, first one being Alabama.
How cool is it for these first two guys who get to hold the United States flag and the United States sign for all the other states that are following?
I love, Alabama. I always think golf is such a great, Alabama's such a great golf destination. And, of course, so is Arizona.
Another good one.
Oh, yeah. Desert golf is a good time. Now, listen, coast to coast in the United States, you can get quite the variety of golf courses, and desert golf is something everyone should play.
Yeah. 28 players from Arizona, so strong showing.
Not surprising. What a great golf area. Great golf state.
Please welcome Arkansas.
I'll tell you what. Here's Arkansas. I will tell you, if our president and founder had his way, they'd start with a 4 or 5 shot lead.
Well, we would also be calling the Hogs, and we are not going to do that.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing it
for California.
163 players from California.
What?
Wow.
That's the second most
that
from
is
the state.
Well, now I'm curious who the first is. I think you're going to have to reveal that information as the parade goes on.
That is a large group. Jeez.
Large group of parents,
so we have three past champions, 3 champions from 2023 from California, and all here to defend their title, and one age group up. So some strong golf being played in California.
That is a lot of folks. You don't stop.
High fives going on. We've had some reunions going on. People running out to the crowd in the street, giving hugs. Remember you from last year? Kids are saying hi to each other. What a moment.
Chris, these shirts that they have, they were given out at registration. That's why a lot of the contingents are in U.S. Kids Golf color-coordinated shirts. Is that right?
That's right, John. The color-coordinated shirts are part of their tee gift for the week, and they're always excited to see what color they're going to get. But it's neat to be able to see them all together in the same color and coming through.
Colorado.
They're competing against each other, but right now they're all representing their state as well.
It is amazing the camaraderie that is shown within the states and the pride that they have of representing together. Of course, they all know each other from the local tours that they play in.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, some of these kids have grown from last year. I mean, This is getting personal. I took a picture with them in previous years, and now they grew a foot over the last 12 months. What's going on with kids these days? Jeez.
I'll tell you what, the one bad thing about this parade is that it does remind me that some of my favorite kids that I've known since they were 5, 6, 7 years old have now aged into the teenage years and no longer taking part in this week's championship. And I certainly miss them. But we've got new players and new families that have come in, and they are spectacular and awesome also. And you get a chance to talk with them and see how much love and joy they get from taking part in these events. That means the world. That means everything.
Well, some of these kids now that, their favorite players on tour are also alumni. So they're trying to see, hey, what place did they come in the World Championship? I'm going to try to beat that.
There you go. Okay, a little competition within the competition. That's fun.
Can you explain how Washington, D.C. followed Delaware?
I can't.
No, I'm just – is it geographic? This year, did we line them up geographically?
Maybe we know how to put on a golf tournament, but not the alphabet.
I'm sure you know what? He plays with all the folks from Delaware.
I'm going to go with just the D.C. part. If you drop the Washington part and go with the D.C. part.
Oh, they're trying to come down.
Let Florida run.
Yeah.
You can't hold them back.
I'll tell you what, Lauren, what's with your contingent? Look at this Army. Look at this.
Listen, these are my people. Sunshine State all the way.
Well, Lauren, you asked what the biggest contingent was. Here it is, 188 players from Florida.
I should have known. Should have known.
We got
Listen, when you can play golf year-round with the temperatures that you get in Florida, why wouldn't you be out on the golf course 24/7? As much as you can, right? Might have to dodge a little rain in the afternoons in the summer, but, it's just water.
Well, folks, get comfortable watching because
Florida's here for a bit.
Yeah.
Man. Too cool.
Chris, we've got a couple of regionals in Florida as well.
We do. We have the Holiday Classic, which will be coming up right before Christmas, and PGA Golf Club in October. So, Florida is very very kind. We have a lot of great directors in Florida. And Don Law, that's here this week. He's doing the boys 6 and under, girls 7 and under. He might have been to every World Championship. I'm not quite sure. Maybe he missed the first few, but Don's been a great person in Florida to just grow the game, and has a lot of players here as a coach. And
a big hand for Georgia!
Well,
so Florida went before Georgia here, but not in the football standings.
Okay. Here we go.
These are my peeps here, so I have a special affinity for this group.
John's getting a lot of attention up here.
I owe a lot of these people money.
Yeah, they're waving at you. They might be running up here in the booth to give you a hug. Who knows? We won't hold them back.
Oh, I also had an invitation to go see the Hawaiian local tour, Chris, if you just wanted you to be aware. The director of our local tours in Hawaii, Oliver Okino, he talked about somebody who is making a difference. He's won just about every local junior golf award you can win there, putting together just incredible programs. I had spent some time with him yesterday and learning about what they're doing.
That's right, John. He is.
Idaho not being shy. Some of these kids, they shy away from the cameras.
No,
not this, Chris. If you're watching them at home, they want to say hi to you. John, you were talking about some of these kids, how it can be sentimental seeing them move on, but what do some of the first timers say? What do the parents say? What do the kids say when it's their first time being here at Worlds? What's some of the reactions you hear?
I love hearing from them because they almost always say, this is better than anything I could have anticipated.
Wow.
Right? They expected golf tournaments. They've done golf tournaments. This entire festival, this atmosphere catches them in the greatest way off guard.
Illinois has a captain of the cheering section.
Rehearsed this.
Yeah. He was ready.
Yeah.
You know, he probably rehearsed it at home. He's got the chants down.
The drill sergeant. Jason
Yeah.
Littell.
Well, they're listening.
They
He
were
has their
listening.
command of attention.
All right. Jason's a big guy, though. I'm not going to. If he tells me to yell, I'm yelling.
Let him do his thing.
Hello, Indiana.
Indiana on their best behavior for the parade, but they're ready to unleash on the golf course.
I spent some time in Indiana. They've got some nice golf courses there.
Very nice people, Midwestern.
Good heartland folks.
Does Kentucky wear anything other than blue?
I was really about to ask you if that was intentional. If there's ever been a year where they haven't worn blue,
I don't think they would let us.
That's a good point. Except the Louisville group. Not the most original cheer, but love the energy behind it.
Simple is good.
We just had Walter Payton references the state before.
You know, John, I think maybe next year we need to mic up a few of the kids.
Oh, my gosh. That would be awesome. And
a fun sort of chaos,
yeah,
perhaps?
Yeah. Just enough to give me a little bit of
maybe
anxiety.
Get some of the kids in the booth.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that could be fun.
Louisiana is here. Oh, look at the flag bearers. How much fun is this?
Who dat?
I think maybe our announcers from Louisiana.
We may have to. Oh, now he's egging them on now. We'll have to have a little talk.
Maryland making their way
Please
down the
welcome
parade path. You know, during my time on Golf Channel, some of my favorite guests that we had in studio, and you know, this is live TV, so a lot of times people can get a little nervous, but it's more the adults. The kids are the ones who just, you know, you mic them up, they're good to go, they're taking swings on the simulator, they're not nervous, they say what they want to say.
A big hand for Massachusetts.
And more often than not, they're playing the game of golf because they truly love it, because a parent introduced them, because they saw another kid playing the game of golf. They just want that time out on the golf course. And I think now more than ever, it's important to get your kids out on the golf course. I mean, think about encouragement of putting down the cell phones and being out in the sunshine. And you know, whether it's 9 holes, 3 holes, 18 holes, if you can get your kid out there to play 36 holes, that's pretty awesome too.
Yeah, and you know, it's an old saying, but it's truly a game of a lifetime. So these kids are going to be able to do this for the rest of their lives at a high level.
My mom picked up the game at the age of 70. She was one of those people in 2020 who picked up a club for the very first time and, you know, didn't want to put it down after that. And you know, if you can pick up the game of golf at 70, I get out there on the golf course with my mom now. She's now volunteered for 4 different tournaments, a few on the Corn Ferry Tour in South Carolina, and then also the Arnold Palmer Invitational. And there's so many ways to be involved in the game of golf, even if you're not playing it. And once you get a taste of that golf community, you don't want to leave. It's tight-knit, unified, fun.
Chris, as these kids go by, where are they going?
Where are they going? Well, they're going into the park at the end there, and we're going to have the national anthem, and Dan's going to say a few encouraging words for their week. But we have a little festival going on down there at the end, and a lot of local vendors are out, you know, with hamburgers and hot dogs and ice cream on this warm evening. So the party doesn't stop as they walk by our stage.
Right.
They're going down there to enjoy themselves.
Bouncy houses and games.
Yeah, and you talked about friends. I mean, when we were younger, we didn't have ways to communicate as easy with each other. And these kids are going to go back home and meet friends, here this week and be able to communicate and make friends for a lifetime. I mean,
Phenomenal.
they truly
I've seen those friendships blossom, and it's amazing online.
Truly have friends from all over the world after this week.
Incredible. The network that these kids establish, they can literally go anywhere and have a friend that plays golf.
And then their parents have to deal with the tough question of, but Mom, I met Sally at Worlds. And she lives in Italy. Can we go see her?
Can we please go to Italy?
Can't say no to that. I mean, just depends on a few other factors. But I'm excited to hear what Dan Van Horn's going to tell them later on. I'm going to put you guys on the spot. John, if you had to tell these kids some inspiring words ahead of the action, what would you tell them? You've got some perspective on this.
My easiest
Please
is
welcome Nebraska.
we all are fortunate enough to have a few moments in life that you want to cherish and remember that will make a mark impression on you. Do not judge your week solely based on how well you play golf, but the amount of enjoyment and memories that you can make here every time. Because we're only going to have 13 champions.
Yeah.
But you're going to have, the hope is 13, 14, 1,500 kids leave here saying, that's the greatest week I've ever had.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you can't say the word fun enough. And really, you look into, like, there's going to be great experiences for the parents this week as well. I mean, the parents caddy for the kids. So there's going to be some challenging moments this week out on the golf course with parents and kids. And that's really part of it as well. We have a partnership with the Positive Coaching Alliance, PCA. And we're really trying to help these parents as well in their journey with the kids and learning how to be better caddies, which helps just the relationship overall. We always talk about the ride home, right? So what's the first question you're going to ask your kid when you get in the car and go home? And you just want to tell them you had fun with them because it's going to make them want to come back again for more.
Absolutely.
So, there will be a few arguments this week, though, and that's okay. That's okay.
That's sport. That's life.
It's growing. It's growing. And parents tell me that this is the first time in many ways that they've seen their child mature to the level that they're the boss in the relationship in some ways, right? When the kid's the player and you're the caddy, there's an involvement there.
Well, I think golf has a great way of doing that. Golf's just not, a sport where you're hitting a white ball. It's truly a sport that makes you grow as a person with integrity and morals and being social and how you treat people. So there's a lot of lessons that go into the game other than just playing it.
New Mexico. I've actually spent some time in New Mexico. I love that place. Oh, New York's loving the camera.
Ready for that camera time.
I could have called that one.
No Time on Broadway.
Yeah. Oh, no.
A big hand for North Carolina.
There's no speed limit out here on the parade.
They've literally just crashed into New York. That is.
And they got the loudest cheer.
They don't have time for the camera. They wanted to race New York. So, is there any good golf in North Carolina, Chris?
I mean, there's a lot of good golf across the state, but when you come to Pinehurst, you really don't want to go anywhere else.
Yeah, I hate to agree. I mean, I have a club in North Carolina, but it's not in Pinehurst, darn it.
Yeah. Here in Moore County, there's around 40 golf courses, and I don't know how many places across the world have that many golf courses in one area. No.
I've worked with a few Buckeyes in my day. They're passionate about their golf game.
Hell yeah. Jack Nicklaus, obviously, and been a great supporter of U.S. Kids Golf.
Yeah, his grandkids played in the
played with U.S. Kids Golf. And I think he's filmed a welcome message or two for the parade.
Oh,
so,
man,
yeah.
nothing like the words of the Golden Bear. Talk about perspective. Talk about wisdom.
If you've never played golf in Oklahoma before, the courses there are not what I would expect. I think of like Tornado, No, they're spectacular. The elevation changes and the views. So, yeah.
Please welcome Oregon!
We're excited about the next state coming here.
Is that Oregon?
No, the one behind Oregon.
No, I'm only seeing Oregon.
For now,
for now. Well, I'm
Pennsylvania comes rolling through.
I think their feed has been interrupted. We actually have All right, Chris, we'll let you.
Pennsylvania!
My home state of Pennsylvania. There's a couple good golf courses there. Good football teams on the west side of the state.
Want to give a shout out to some of your favorite courses out there?
I'll say one. Because I was in Pennsylvania last year. So Chris, you're right. I played this little club. I don't remember the name. Marion, maybe.
Oh yeah,
nice.
tiny.
Marion's good. And
spot.
Oakmont is hosting the U.S. Open next year. So
major stages, quite the test of golf.
Rhode Island. We have one representative from Rhode Island. Rhode Island has a large number of fantastic golf courses.
They do. It's a beautiful state.
Please welcome South Carolina!
It's funny how the kids love to congregate together and say, "See you, Mom, Dad." You guys walk in the back.
I made friends.
Yeah.
This guy might live down the road from me. This one's 30 minutes away. Now these are some trips that are maybe more attainable than if you make some friends internationally. These ones can really keep in touch.
A big hand for Tennessee!
We give them signs to carry, but they're decorating the signs with flags on top.
I tell you, the signs are important and great, but if you didn't have them, you would still have no problem identifying each group. I mean, they really go all out. I love this.
I'm sorry. I'm just thoroughly entertained with the parents who are trying to get their kids to stop running.
Yes.
Like there are rules at the parade.
And all the eyes are on Texas.
Absolutely. Now, you talk about a place where you got to be able to stand the heat. Literally, they have had some incredible highs with their temperatures. They're probably really loving this relatively cool North Carolina night. Cool for us. Some Longhorns in the house.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Blake, my buddy Blake was on TV earlier today. He came by and to say hello again. That was great.
I liked what he was saying. They were asking if he was nervous at all, and he's like, I don't get nervous. And my dad told me to just have fun, which is the wisest words you can tell your child in any sport.
75 players from Texas. We got a lot of Longhorn symbols.
Yeah, I was noticing that. Team Utah making custom shirts. I like it.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's pretty good. I can't lie.
So as we get down to the end here, John, what do you think? The end of the parade's as good as the beginning of the parade.
The end of the parade is awesome because you've seen the entirety of the excitement and the joy. I always get a little sad because nothing against the World Championship. This is my favorite event of the week.
It is.
I can't help but wonder about, the restaurant scene around here. Like, this is thousands of kids we have going through Pinehurst Village where are they all eating tonight? Like,
Well,
is it pizza?
A lot of them are eating in the
rooms, or
park
they-
right
I
over
mean,
there that they're
these are
going
going
to.
to be some busy restaurants tonight. It's incredible what events like this do for the local economy.
It does.
Local shops.
This event, it's over a $10 million economic impact for the community,
Huge.
and that's real. You get annual event every year, and it has a big impact. So, I still sit here and I just think, and this is a golf tournament, right? We're watching a parade, and all the work that everybody's done, from the U.S. Kids staff to volunteers to the community, and there's thousands of people that touch this event in a way to put it together, and you just kind of sit here and appreciate on a beautiful evening like this, watching these kids come through.
West Virginia!
Absolutely.
I think we got a Serper sighting here too.
Oh no! As an Atlanta guy, this one hurts.
Oh.
We're down to our last state.
Well, see, that's West Virginia. I guess
Wisconsin. Right after
I
West
think this
Virginia.
is our last one.
We lost our Wyoming caboose that we had for so
Give it up
long.
for Wisconsin!
I mean, they have waited patiently.
Yeah.
It's their time to shine.
Absolutely. Hello, Wisconsin.
Maybe one year we should just reverse it.
Yeah, let
Yeah.
somebody else go first.
Yeah, let somebody go first.
So as we're
Honorable
watching,
mention for Wyoming.
honorable mention. Thank you, Martin. Guys, this has been spectacular. I think that's the end of the parade as it goes by our stage. They're making their way into the park. Chris, Lauren, final thoughts?
Like I said, it's just so fun to see these families and having the kids, have their moment in front of the stage here and be able to go through and show off all their hard work that's gone in. And, stay with us all week. Follow along at uskidsgolf.com. Watch the scores. You're going to see some great golf and some great photos on our social media.
Yep.
I think junior golf is in such a good place. I've followed the pros for most of my career, and it's so refreshing to get the junior take on just the excitement, how much work they put into it, how much they look at the pros to try and mirror those careers perhaps, but also just how much fun they have recreationally to compete alongside each other and to be here at a place like Pinehurst. It's an unbelievable experience.
Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the parade. Outstanding weather we had for a lot of incredible players and families. Stay with us all week, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next year.
Thank you.